Hello, how's everyone doing today? My name is Hakeem Royce. I would like to thank you everyone watching, and I would also like to thank you everyone that came to the meeting today. This is our third time here, so it's good to see some new faces, And what we are here to do, and we're going to get right into it, what we are here to do is we are here to give you, people of the Black and Brown African descent community, a chance at an investment of a lifetime. Today, we are going to present to you Guru Alkebulan's Yorona clothing line. Alkebulan is the indigenous name of Africa, the pre-colonial name of Africa, the native term of Africa. And this was discovered while doing studies on ancient African civilizations along the Nile River region. And it was discovered that one of the most indigenous names of the continent is Alkebulan. As you can know a little history about Africa, Africa is named after a Roman Italian invader who conquered the land. So when the Roman Italian invader conquered the land and civilized the people, he named it after himself. It was named after him, Africa. His name was Scipios Africanus. So it was named after him, Africa, and the people were surnamed Afrikaans. You see, so back in those days when you were named after someone, that means conquered land of. So Africa literally means conquered land of Scipios Africanus. To be an Afrikaan means to be a conquered people of Scipios Africanus. That is why we refer to the continent as Alkebulan. And as the people are learning this terminology, you know, we go back and forth between Africa and Alkebulan, but we want to get our people used to the term Alkebulan because it refers directly to pre-colonial, pre-invasion Africa. The land of West Africa was very fertile land. So most of the farming population they migrated to West Africa, okay? So because the people lived together as a bartering system, this built up a way of life, a way of trade, okay? You're strong in the production of this crop, and I trade my crop for that crop. Okay, so the mindset now, okay, Alkebulan is more prevalently than a location, it is a mindset. Okay, so the mindset now is, I cannot harm you, I cannot kill you, I cannot come and destroy your land, I cannot come and hurt your people or hurt your tribe, because your tribe grows something that my people use to survive. And likewise, I cannot come and hurt you or kill you or destroy your land, because vice versa, your tribe grows something that my people use to survive. You see, the saying is, I am because you are, and you are because we are. So I am because you facilitate my being, and you are because we facilitate each other. So this bartering, it created a very interwoven and very interconnected way of life. And this is the mindset that we want to inflict upon our people today. Since the life of our people before slavery is so largely unknown, we teach the lifestyle, the culture, the principles, and the history of pre-colonial or native Africa. And the clothes and products of Yorona clothing is a representation of this clothing, okay, and of this culture. It's a representation of the culture of love, peace, harmony, and interconnectedness that came out of a realization of dependency that our ancestors had upon one another for survival through trading and through bartering, okay? As a people of West Alkebulan. And though we have come a long way from farmers trading produce amongst tribes, we believe even to this day that there is still a dependency that we as a people have upon one another that is as essential for our survival as a people today as it was back then. And we believe that we must tap back into this in order to flourish and in order to survive, okay? We believe that the present condition of our people is because we have neglected this necessity. We have neglected this dependency that is necessary for our survival as a people. Okay? The philosophy behind our vision. I want everyone here, including you out there in TV land, I want everyone here to look at these pictures. Okay? These are our young men. These are our princes. These are our kings. These are our leaders of tomorrow. Right here. Right here. I like this picture right here because it says, we are better than this. We are better than this. Okay? So, the philosophy behind our vision is that the black man that we see today on the news, and in the media, and in the streets of our urban cities is a result of a people who do not know who they are and have no history of themselves but that of being slaves. Okay? And this is our demographic. Okay? As a people of Al-Kebulan, as a people of ancient Africa, we were connected to nature. These principles that I stated to you that was prevalent at Al-Kebulan, it wasn't taught to us. It wasn't indoctrinated into us. It wasn't even something that had to be programmed into us. We had a natural connection to nature. Al-Kebulan, as we saw on the previous slide, says land of the spirit people. So we were a people that was connected very strongly to the spiritual. And it was out of our connection to the spiritual aspect of life that this understanding and this mindset was facilitated. You see? So we believe that connecting our minds back to this point of our history will awaken this Al-Kebulan nature that is still present inside of every black man of African descent. Okay? So as we said before, it is much more than a clothing company. The clothing is simply a vehicle to facilitate the transformation of our people from how we are being portrayed to who we truly are. These symbols that you see in our clothing, here, you see here, which, you know, we'll have some better pictures for you later on in the presentation, and you see them here. Okay? These symbols originated in West Africa in the region known today as Ghana and Ivory Coast. Okay? They were created by the Ashanti tribe. The Ashanti tribe. They were created by the Ashanti tribe. Okay? And these symbols represent concepts or definitions. They are linked to proverbs. There are messages. The word here is there are evocative messages. Messages that evoke thought. There are evocative messages in these symbols that carries the traditional wisdom as well as the beliefs, the history, and philosophies of the Ashanti people. Okay? So these symbols carry thousands of years of wisdom from our people. Because before we was pounding down the papyrus tree into paper, our people passed down history, knowledge, wisdom, philosophies through symbology. Okay? So these symbols are actually directly derived from ancient Africa, from West Africa, from the Ashanti people. And West Africa is where the slaves were taken from. So this is directly from our ancestors. We'll take this symbol here on this young man's shirt. This symbol here means God in the heavens. And it is a symbol of hope. A reminder that God's dwelling place is in the heaven where he can listen to all of our prayers. Okay? Let's look at this symbol right here, Adinkra Henny. And it says the chief of Adinkra symbols, excuse me. And it is a symbol of greatness, a symbol of charisma, and the symbol of leadership. It signifies the importance of playing a leadership role. So, would you want your young black son, would you want your son wearing a shirt that says, I am not a role model? Or do you want him wearing a shirt that highlights the importance and significance of leadership? Our community needs leadership. And maybe the reason that we have no leaders is because our youth are branded that I'm not a role model, I'm lazy but talented. You see, as we said before, our mission statement is to change the image of black people. Okay? Look at this symbol right here, Neon Sapo. Neon Sapo. Okay? And it is a symbol of wisdom, ingenuity, and intelligence. Okay? This symbol conveys the idea that a wise person has the capacity to choose the best means to obtain a goal. You see this? So you have don't follow your dreams, follow your favorite Instagram page. But then, as opposition, we have a wise person has the capacity to choose the best means to obtain a goal. You see the difference here. Being wise implies broad knowledge, learning, and experience, and the ability to supply such faculties to a practical means. So, we as a people are constantly being portrayed as lazy, as vagabonds, as ne'er-do-wells, as all the different contexts by which we have been portrayed, all the different negative connotations by which we have been portrayed. Okay? So what we hope to do to change the image of our people is to portray the true connotations of our people, because these are not symbols that we gave to our people to make them feel good. These symbols come from our very own tribes. Okay, so we are rebranding the image of our people. Our people are seeking a connection to a more positive and more accurate portrayal of who we are. And these clothing, they make our people look like who we are. It makes us look like royalty. Ghanaian clothing is indicative of a noble class. Instead of thugs and instead of promiscuity and Jezebelic appearance, okay, this makes us look like a people of honor, nobility, and dignity, because this is a more correct portrayal of who we are as a people. Okay? Because Ghana, as we said before, is where all of the slaves were taken from. So these clothing are a representative of the truth of who we are as a people. Okay? So our philosophy here at GLU El Kabulan is that a people who have once done great things are a people who can do great things again, if only we can change the way we see ourselves. So these are African dashikis. These are El Kabulan garments. Okay? And we call these potato sacks. Potato sacks. Because the image of Africa has always been portrayed as poor and as needy. As a poor and needy people. But now, and let us get a clear picture. There we go. As a poor and needy people. Okay? But as we're sending money over to Africa because it is poor and needy people, none of that money is actually getting to the people. You see? So, we may believe that wearing this is appropriate because even though we call them potato sacks, even though it is very cheap and it's very low quality, it's very low budget, we have subconsciously bought into the narrative of how Africa is presented. So now we think it is noble to dress this way for the sake of representing Africa. Well, let me tell you something. Al Kabulan is the fashion capital of the world. Okay? You can go to Italy, You can go to India, and you can go to any of these fashion meccas of the world, and you can see where their fashion was derived from ancient Africa. So you do not have to sacrifice fashion to represent your people. These dashikis are not made by us. Because if they were made by us, then they would be an appropriate representation of who we truly are. Most of these dashikis are made by other ethnicities outside of the African population. That's why we chose this picture. But these clothing are sewn by our own people, by the Ashanti tribe people, who are more able to correctly portray who we are as a people. So no more exploitation, okay? So these are double-stitched, triple-stitched clothing, okay? Does not rip, does not tear. It is not a wax material, but it is actually, like we said before, casual formal wear quality. So this is a cotton polyester blend, okay? The designs do not come off. The stitching does not rip off in the wash. Now, for the longevity of the clothing, we recommend delicate cycle, or if you want to, dry clean. But we make these clothing for low-income families. So if our milestone is to completely change the entire wardrobe of the black community, we can't fill the entire wardrobe with dry clean only clothing, because that gets costly. These clothing are washable. And if you put a little bit of white vinegar in the wash, cold water cycle, okay? Even the clothing, even the boldness of the color will have longevity, okay? My clothes, I've washed them in hot water, I've washed them on a heavy cycle, and the color has still not faded in my Al-Kelbulan clothing, okay? So they're durable. As we said, you don't have to separate quality and fashion to represent Africa. These clothes are what we call trending. They're trending right now. Okay, so people are willing to put up with them. But these clothing, you will wear for a long time, and you will pass them down to your children. This is our website. This is gluealkelbulan.com. Okay, and we're going to show you some of our clothing. Photography. Okay, so let me show you some of our clothing. Right. So here's some of our clothing, and you can tell the difference yourself between what we are currently wearing as African dashikis and what are actual clothing from Africa. Isn't this how we want to present our young people? Don't these look like people that are ready for leadership, ready to lead, ready to guide? Isn't this the image, a more accurate portrayal of who we are as a people? Okay, right here. These are our women's dresses. Okay. This symbol right here is an alternate version of Sankofa, and it is symbolizing the importance of returning to the past to gain life lessons that are lost. Okay? This is the alternative symbol of the bird looking backwards to grab an egg. Okay? The Sankofa bird, they call it. But beautiful, beautiful. As you can see here, no potato sacks. What you see right here is the actual contour for the hips of the woman. You see, and you see how it goes in. So there is extra material for the hips of the woman, and then it contours to the torso-abdominal area. So torso-abdominal, and then extra space for the hips. So there's a nice, snug fit that lays on the shape of the body. Okay? Some of our tops, this symbol right here means the eagle claw. It is a symbol of spiritual vision. The eagle sits on the mountain and sees over all. This is a symbol of spiritual vision. Okay? These are some of our children's clothes. This is one of our best sellers. We have a lot of people on the waiting list for these tops. Okay? Here. This is the symbol. Bruce Lee spoke about this in his interview. This is the symbol of water. When you put the water in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. When you put it in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. When you put it in a pot, it becomes the pot. Okay? If you heat it up really hot, it becomes gas. If you freeze it, it becomes solid. Okay? But no matter what form it takes, it still keeps the properties of water. And that is this symbol here. Taking different forms, but still remaining fundamentally the same. Okay? And this represents the history of our people. The history and principles and moralities of our people, the spirit of our people may take many different forms, but it is still the same energy, the same wisdom, the same principles, the same life, the same love, the same harmony. Okay? So, a lot of wisdom. So, we see here the clothing that we have of our people. Okay, let us get a few more. Okay, you see our clothing here. That's some young men. Okay. Men rocking our tops. Okay. See. This is the way we want to portray our people. See. And let me show you one design. Because this is the design, right here. This design right here, you will see this design of African dashikis in the upcoming Black Panther movie in February. This is the actual design that Mr. Chadwick is wearing in the Black Panther movie. We make these clothing here at our company. So if you are looking for the wardrobe that they are wearing in the Black Panther movie, our company makes them. It is a Ghanaian design. And not only are we buying from vendors, we are actually buying from the actual manufacturers themselves. So this is one of the designs that we offer at our clothing line, okay? So let's recap. As a people of African descent, we are disconnected from our homeland. And therefore, we are lost to the knowledge of who we are as a people. But as an educational institution on pre-colonial Africa, referred to as Al-Kebalan, we offer our people a reconnection to their history, beyond that of slavery and captivity, thousands of years before the negative connotations by which our people have come to be known for in the world today. As we here at GLUE Al-Kebalan continue to educate and enlighten those of the African diaspora to the knowledge of the culture of our homeland, our clothing becomes a symbol of embracing this illustrious history as a people of Al-Kebalan, land of the spirit people, cradle of creation, mother of mankind.